So today we have with us Anisha Toma. She got 94th rank in this year's civil service examination. She is a computer graduate and this is her third attempt. So Anisha, tell us something about yourself, how you have taken this decision to prepare for this examination. What really motivated you, your academic background. So everyone wants to know from you all these things.
Sir, I've secured an All India rank 94 in this year's civil services, and sir, I'm a graduate in IT from UIT Punjab University, Chandigarh. I completed my graduation in 2016, and that is the year that I decided to start my preparation. So this is my third attempt and my second mains. So in my first attempt, basically I couldn't clear the prelims examination, and I wrote my second attempt, in which I wrote my first mains, and this year I cleared with 94. So sir, if I'm to talk about my motivation, in my last year of graduation, while everybody was sitting for placements, I realized that the private sector did not really excite me much. So while I was looking for options, civil services seemed like something that I would be interested in doing. And also I had learned about this in class 5th when I was very young. So that idea came back to me. I came back, I told my parents, they were very supportive of the idea, and that is how I started my journey.
Okay, once you start, once you have decided to prepare for this examination, what are the challenges you think you were facing when you started preparing for this examination?
Sir, the first challenge that I faced was a lack of proper guidance that I feel is very important once we start the preparation. And if I am to talk about my own self, sir, there is a lot of guidance, but I will now in hindsight say that there is a lot of misguidance basically in the market. So initially when I came to Delhi, without thinking anything, I joined a coaching institute, but I realized that it didn't help me much, and hence the result in which I didn't clear my first prelims, and it took me 3 attempts to reach till here. So I would say that we need to find the correct guidance, the correct mentor. We need to know what kind of test series that we have to do, the correct resources that we need, because there are a lot of resources in the market which don't really help in the examination. So sir, that would be one thing that I would say we have to keep in mind.
So let us go step by step. This is your third attempt. Did you clear prelims in all your 3 attempts?
Sir, I didn't clear it in the first one, but I cleared the other 2.
So what do you think is the reason why you did not clear your prelims in the first attempt, and what are the changes you have made to your preparation in the second and third attempts?
Sir, in the first attempt, what I did was that I read a lot. So I collected a lot of resources, and I just kept reading and reading without realizing that what is the requirement of the examination. And second thing that I did was I did not refer any previous year question papers. So I did not know that what the examination demands of me. So when I sat for the actual examination, I didn't know what the examiner really wants. And apart from that, I did not solve a lot of tests, so I did not know my strengths and weaknesses. In my second attempt, I corrected all these. I wrote a lot of tests. I figured out how many attempts to actually make in the question paper. In my case, that is 90 plus questions. And apart from that, I minimized my resources. So these are the few things that I did.
So how many marks did you score in your second attempt in the prelims?
Sir, I scored somewhere around 100, wherein the cutoff was 98.
Okay. This year, I think the marks are yet to come.
Yes, sir, the marks are yet to come.
So the next question is, why did you select public administration as an optional?
So, sir, my background is from IT. I'm an engineer. And first thing is that this optional was not available. And sir, second was while I was looking for different optionals, I had shortlisted 3. So, geography, public administration and sociology based on the syllabus. So I found public administration to be the most relevant based on the job that I am applying for. And so once I started reading the subject, I found it extremely interesting. And along the way, I also completed my master's from IGNOU. And because I found it so interesting, I think I was able to sustain for 3 years. So, sir, that was the reason for selecting the subject.
So there were so many, I would say, misapprehensions in the market about public administration, being not scoring and difficult to complete. So you were not afraid of those things at that point of time?
Sir, I had also heard these rumors, but sir, to be completely honest, I had thought to myself that since I like the subject so much, I will be able to read it despite what the market and the rumors would say, and I would not be able to sustain my interest for a long period of time in any other subject. Besides, sir, since I had joined the test series here at Pawan's, my marks had started increasing. So, sir, that had given me a certain level of motivation that I will be able to finally increase my score, and that would increase my chances of selection. So, sir, that kept me in the game with public administration.
So continuing with public administration, what you think, the kind of changes you have made, to improve your scoring in public administration? What are the changes you have made?
So, sir, what I had done in my previous attempt, I had scored 281. So, sir, I had started answer writing without actually referring the previous year toppers' answer sheets from the test series. So, basically, I had no idea of what to write. I had read everything, but just jumped straight into answer writing. So, sir, I was scoring very less marks. In my first test here itself, I had scored around 35, which was very less. So, sir, that was my first mistake. So, I corrected that. I referred Meenal ma'am's answer sheet. She was ranked 35 in 2018. So, sir, after that, I realized the level of answers that are required. And that was the first correction that I did. I tried to emulate those kind of answers. So, sir, this year that is what I did. And secondly, I focused more on structuring my answers as opposed to just reading more and more. And so third was putting more relevant examples. So I read the notes that you had provided and I incorporated that in answers, and consequently my marks also increased in the tests.
So last year you scored 281.
Yes, sir.
In public administration.
Yes, sir.
So continuing with your preparation, how did you prepare for your general studies?
So, sir, general studies was, I did self-study for it mostly. So, personally, sir, I relied very heavily on newspapers. So, I used to make my own notes from the Hindu and I did it on a daily basis. Now, I have 3 very thick registers completely of my own notes, and I used to do it for both prelims and mains. So, and I used to keep the syllabus with me and identify all the articles from that and make notes. And before the main, sir, I used to make notes for every single topic, 1-page notes comprehensively, issues, solutions, and so that I cover everything. And so that is majorly what I did. And apart from that, sir, test series, that is all that was there.
Okay. What have you done for your personality test interview?
So, sir, for the personality test, the first thing that I had done was, I went through my detailed application form and I identified all of the different keywords that were there and I studied them in detail. So, sir, and also this helped a lot because my entire interview was based on my DAF itself. It's there on Quora also, so if anybody wants to read. So, sir, in my hobbies, it was written that I like to travel. So, I focused on that and I prepared it completely and extensively. So, if any question were to be asked from that, I would be prepared. So, sir, that is what I did. Apart from that, sir, I focused a lot on current affairs. So, I had started reading one more newspaper, that is the Indian Express. So, I made notes of that, similar to what I used to do earlier also. and this was my overall strategy. So that is all I did.
So what have you done specifically for General Studies paper 4 ethics?
So, sir, for ethics, I had made this mistake in my first mains, wherein I had heard somebody say that ethics is an easy paper and does not require preparation. So, sir, I would like to say that it is a big blunder if somebody does that, because it can cost another attempt like me.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that we should do. So, this year what I did was I gave special focus on that. So, first thing I did was I took your notes and I read them in detail. And apart from that, sir, I also saw Aditya Mishra sir's videos which are there on YouTube. So after doing that, sir, I focused on test series. So I wrote 4 tests here itself. And from the test series, I realized that I was writing ethics answers completely in a logical manner. So which does not really fetch marks. So I got 91 last time. It was because I wrote very logical answers. But in ethics, we require a lot of, a slight emotion in the answers. We need to put quotes, we need to put examples. And this year, that is what I did. So I also saw Meenal ma'am's paper. She had also written a test here. So from her paper, I understood how to basically write such kind of answers. So that is what I did this year.
And what have you done for General Studies paper 2, polity governance?
Sir, for polity governance, again, since it has a lot of overlap with the public administration, so mostly I had referred my public administration notes from class and newspaper, since I already read them extensively. So I had incorporated that. And sir, there are certain topics such as we have RTI, social audits and all. So I had already prepared 1-page notes and they were already present. So that I prepared in a lot of detail, since the probability of them being asked is more. So that I had done from this. And sir, polity already we prepare for public administration. So that way I think last year also I had scored 115. So that was a highlight in my marks from all the other marks.
Obviously.
So sir, that is a benefit of being, I think, a public administration student.
Yes.
It reflects in GS2. So sir, this year also I am hoping that GS2 will be more than the others.
But what we see here is that most of the students from public administration, they are not getting good marks in paper 2, polity governance. What could be the reason?
Sir, personally I think that there could be a slight neglect, because it should not be the case for us, since for us it becomes a low hanging fruit.
Yes.
And it is a positive for us and we should definitely grab it. So this is what I tried to do even last year and this year. So I prepared these topics extensively, and this will be my suggestion that these, since we are already preparing, do them in detail, and some questions are bound to come and we can already predict. Write these tests, and so that should be enough. It will suffice.
So what are the books you have referred for public administration?
So sir, my book list was pretty minimal. I referred Prasad and Prasad for thinkers, and apart from this I read Aribam, both for paper 1 and paper 2, and I had my notes. So this was pretty much all that I read. I also read Mohit Bhattacharya, but it personally didn't help me much. And there was this one public administration blog that I used to refer sometimes for just certain topics, financial administration and all. So this was all that I read.
And how did this test series help you?
So sir, I will say the single most important thing in the entire preparation, sir, was the test series. I think I have written almost 30 tests over the span of 3 years now. So sir, test series basically gives an idea of what is required in the examination. Reading the entire syllabus is on one end, and writing tests is on another end. So sir, first we should read, we should revise, but then writing tests will give an idea of how to go about the structuring, what is actually required, and the kind of examples, how to make the answers dynamic. So sir, first I will say refer previous year toppers answer sheets and then get into writing. And sir, another thing is that answer writing is a very long process. It requires a lot of patience. So I'll say it takes time. So anyone who's watching this should be very patient with the process and join a good test series. Join this test series. It has helped me the most. I've taken 3 test series with you, and I think it has been the most beneficial in the whole journey.
So, you said that, you have completed your graduation in 2016.
Yes, sir.
This is 2020.
Yes, sir.
And for 4 years you have been preparing.
Yes, sir.
So how did you motivate yourself for such a long period of time?
So, sir, I'll say that motivation is very fleeting and it comes and goes. Some days I was very highly motivated and some days I was not. But over time I developed discipline. So, I used to create small routines for myself. Like one small routine that I made for myself was that I really like coffee. So, in the morning what I did was I associated coffee with newspaper reading. So I would not have coffee until my newspaper is completed. So that way my newspaper would be done with notes right in the morning. And it is such a routine that I do it till date. So sir, I think discipline has to be built. That is the only way, because motivation is not something that we can rely on in the long term. So sir, that is something I did. Apart from that, sir, my mother has been a very strong strength of, pillar of strength for me, even till date. So even on days when I didn't believe in myself, she believed in me. So I think family plays a huge role.
And did you ever feel in the entire journey uncertain about your future?
Sir, there were days where I thought that since the seats are very less and the competition is so much, that maybe the decision is not correct. But sir, again, that feeling also comes and goes. There are days when you feel low. But sir, we have to move past that, just push through it and get back to work. These are just thoughts and we have to just push through them, that's it.
Sometimes you get very less marks also in a test.
Yes, sir.
And what have you done in those times to motivate yourself?
Sir, there was this one test in which I had got 85 marks and very harsh comments. But sir, I look at it in this manner that that was required at that time. Had I not got those marks and those comments, I would have never improved. So sir, I went home, I cried a little bit, I felt bad about it. But then after that I improved myself. I looked at the comments and I tried to work on it. And in the next test, I got 100 plus. So sir, that is because growth is gradual, sir. It doesn't come in one day, in one night. And it is a journey of 3 years. So sir, that is how I have also got this rank. So I'll say just push through it, and patience is required. That is the only way, sir, forward.
So if a beginner comes to you for advice regarding how to prepare for this examination, what is your advice to that person?
Sir, I will say the first thing I will say is do reverse engineering. And by that I mean is first look at the previous year question papers, sit down with the syllabus and try and understand the examination first before you set your foot into it. Because that is what is required. First we need to understand what we are getting into, and that will kind of put you on a path, on the correct path. Otherwise, sir, we'll just get lost in all this mayhem and we'll just keep giving more and more attempts. So I'll say that would be my advice to beginners.
And a person who has attended say 3-4 interviews, there we have so many students like that. If that person comes to you, what kind of advice would you give to that person?
Sir, in that case, I will say that it becomes very important to identify the mistakes that we are making. Sir, because not repeating the mistakes is very important in this exam, because since I have experienced the same thing, to correct the mistake at the correct time becomes important. So I would say sit down with yourself, identify where you're going wrong and correct it at that very moment, so that you don't lose another attempt if you are thinking. And if not, then sir, we have to move on in life. This is not the end. At the end of the day, it's just another exam. If not this, there are many opportunities in life. So sir, that would be my advice.
So what were the specific mistakes that you have committed in your previous attempts, and how did you improve upon them?
Sir, first was not looking at previous year question papers.
Okay.
So this time I did that. I for prelims also, sir, and for mains also. I did that first and then prepared. Sir, apart from that test series, first attempt did not do any test series. So this time I tried to do all the test series. Um, so these were the main things that I did. So I tried to correct those this time.
Anything extra you have read for this attempt compared to last year?
Sir, in fact, I did the opposite. I read less this time. So I strategized a lot more and I structured everything a lot more this time. So the 3 months that I had, especially between prelims and mains, I removed a lot of resources. For the booklets, I only had Vision this time. I did not have any other booklet. I had only newspapers. Ethics and public administration, I only had your notes and Prasad, that's it. For GS, I had only my notes, that's it. And for essay, I had a Vision test series. I wrote 3 tests and that was all. So I really minimized that, wrote a lot of tests and continuously tried to improve. So that is all I did this time.
Okay, and what do you think is the most important strategy for this examination, to clear this examination?
Sir, I'll say if there are 800 or so people who are getting selected, then there are 800 different strategies. So, sir, I'll say that we all have to make our own at the end of the day. And anyone who's listening to this should take a lot of inputs from everyone, but do what suits them. So, in my case, note making for me was very important because I had heard somewhere that whatever you write with your own hand, your hand remembers. Now, I don't know if how scientifically true that is, but it worked for me in mains.
In fact, that is what I used to say in the class.
Sir, then I've heard from you. So, sir, I made notes for GS myself, all of it. So, sir, it helped me a lot. So, sir, but it doesn't work for everybody because most people don't make newspaper notes. So, sir, that was my strategy. That is what I did for GS. And sir, how to read is very important. First attempt, I did not know how to read the newspaper, how to read the opinion page, what to extract from the newspaper, what to leave in the newspaper. So sir, these things are something that we have to focus on while we start the preparation. Important to, in mains, to identify that ethics, essay and optional are the most focus areas. So sir, this is the strategy that we have to build, and the preparation is integrated. It will not be separate for these 3. So sir, this is the broad strategy.
And what are your strengths and weaknesses in terms of preparation?
So sir,
This will really help the students also.
Sir, again I'll say that we all have different strengths and weaknesses. So my personal strengths was one, I knew that I write decently, creative writing. I have done some creative writing earlier also. So I knew that essay I could score well. But sir, I made a mistake in my first mains wherein I thought that because I am good, I don't need practice. So I paid for it with 119 marks in essay. So this year I worked on that and I wrote a few essays. Secondly, sir, ethics I knew again with creative writing that I can score well with practice. So this I did this year. Sir, apart from that, polity, because again public administration, so I tried to extract as many marks both in prelims also and in mains also. So one weakness that I have is that my geography is not that good. So I used to avoid geography questions in prelims also and mains also. Somehow I would just get through them. So that was my weakness. And sir, public
I think
administration.
it is universal weakness. Geography is a very difficult subject.
Yes, sir. So geography is something that I struggled with. I still struggle with it. I still don't know. And sir, public administration I worked on this time because it forms a major portion. And sir, interview, of course, I did as much as I could. So let's see what the marks are.
So if you look at our test series, whoever comes out on the top 10 students, most of the time you find them in the final list. Will that be a motivation for you? Even last year also, most of them got into the top services.
Yes, sir, it was definitely a motivation for me. And in fact, while writing the tests, I would always imagine my name in the top 10. So when I used to get my name in the list, that would be a huge motivation for me to work even harder for the next test. So, sir, that is what kept me going. And in fact, when I had got those 85 marks, that was the reason why I wanted to work harder and get my name in it. So, sir, that really helps.
I think this year in most of the tests your name was there in the top 10 list.
Sir, yes, most of the times.
Okay, then continuing with this, what is the most difficult aspect of your preparation? Is it prelims or mains or interview?
Sir, so for me, I felt like it was prelims. So the reason being that the syllabus is very, very vast and it becomes difficult to consolidate because there's a lot of reading and along with that note making also, since I made my own notes, and then revision. So, sir, again, revision becomes very important. This is what I focused on a lot more this time. So, my revision strategy was that first thing in the morning, I used to wake up. I had a whiteboard in my room and I used to write down everything that I read in the previous day. So, that was my revision strategy. And before sleeping also, I would revise everything I had done in the day. So, sir, I think that becomes very important, reading less and revising more. So, for prelims I did that, and that I found the toughest out of all three.
So, since you are talking about prelims, we have also prelims in the next 1.5 months or so. What kind of suggestions can you give to our students, who are writing prelims this year?
Sir, since the time is less, so again I would reiterate the same thing, that now is the time for revision, and students should not pick up any new source. Whatever they have, first thing is they should read. So second thing is that areas from which more questions are likely to come, that is what should be the focus now. For example, polity, the economic survey, and environment. So these are topics from which we know that questions will come. So that is what they must focus on and keep revising again and again. Secondly, sir, they must do previous year questions because many a times sir, questions are repeated. So that they must do. And sir, of course, tests. That is a good indicator of how the performance is going. And sir, one thing I'll say is don't focus a lot on marks, because sir, we should never get obsessed with marks. We should try and analyze the question, that where we are actually going wrong. That is the aim of the test series. So sir, if they do that, then marks will improve on its own.
So what are the specific sections you have identified in prelims where you think that you must be scoring really well?
So sir, for me personally, there were 2-3 areas. So polity, I always used to make sure that I don't get any question wrong. So sir, polity was one. So second was environment, because IFOS also go through the same paper.
Yes.
So sir, they have a lot of environment questions. So I used to try and make sure that they also go correct. So thirdly, because I learned history from my mother, she was a history teacher. So sir, I had to make sure that history doesn't go wrong because she had taught me. So history also, for the most part, I used to try and get right. And so geography, like I said, I used to avoid because mostly I couldn't get them correct. And so current affairs. Since current affairs, my own notes and everything, so that I used to focus on a lot. And so science and tech mostly is from current. So, and since I come from a science background, so just logically, even if I have not read, I used to try and extract the answer, even if I don't know. So from elimination or this or that technique. So sir, these were my broad areas. And economic survey, I had seen your videos. I had attended a few classes from the economic survey. So that was useful in mains also.
Yes.
So economic survey also, I used to try and solve all the questions.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then you have spoken about prelims, what are your areas of strength and everything. On the basis of that, did you have any kind of target, the number of marks that you must be scoring in prelims like that?
So personally, like I said,
Please come. Yeah. Now we have with us now, we are fortunate that again, please come,
Hi.
Deepankar, with whom we had a webinar the other day. He has come to Delhi, and he has come to Delhi to meet us also. It's a very good fortune that he is here with us along with Anisha. Yeah, Deepak.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for welcoming me. And I had to come here in any case to meet, and I had to come here in any case to meet you and pay my respects, sir.
No, that's so
Yes,
nice
sir.
of you. Yes. So Deepankar, I'm talking to Anisha about her preparation, especially prelims.
Yes, sir.
You are the one who has cleared prelims all the 4 attempts.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the specific things that you can tell to our students regarding the prelims?
Sir, like I was mentioning the other day also, one of the most important things when it comes to prelims preparation is how many times you revise. Because you can study 10 different sources or 10 different books, but if you're not able to revise it six times, 7 times, then it will become very difficult. And another important thing which I was mentioning to people the other day was that prelims, people have this idea in their minds that prelims is an objective question paper. So you don't need in-depth study. It's all a memory game. It's all, if you know the answer, you know the answer. There is not much logical thinking. There is not much deduction. It's simply knowing the answer by luck or by fluke. But it's not like that, which is why I would advise people that to study, even for prelims, very holistically. Go for comprehensive books, go for comprehensive notes, go for monthly magazines. Preparing from prelims from, those ready-made lists like 50 most important topics, that can help in shortlisting or revising. But making that the whole and soul of your preparation, that I'll study only these 50 most important topics, or I'll study a yearly compilation or a half-yearly compilation, and that will cut the cake and get me through prelims. It doesn't, and I do think that UPSC has started targeting those annual compilations.
Obviously, because
Yes, sir.
UPSC is much more intelligent at any point of time
Yes, sir.
than anything else.
So focus on your polity, on your economics, on your whatever subjects you are studying. Study it holistically. Polity, economics, modern Indian history, environment, these are some things which should be prioritized. It doesn't mean that other things are less important, but let's say you have only 1.5 or 2 months left for prelims. In such a situation, I would prefer that if you have not already covered everything, you are hard pressed for time, then you can prioritize on these 4 areas.
And just now I was also talking to Anisha about our test series and the top rankers there.
Yes, sir.
You were there also in the top rankers list all the time, almost for the
Yes,
last
sir.
3 years. So how did you motivate yourself? Because whoever was there on the top list,
Yes,
top
sir.
rankers list, inevitably got either interview call, or this time most of them got into top 100 ranks also.
So let me tell something. I'm a mathematician by training. I did my engineering in mathematics and computing.
He is also like that.
Okay. So
I mean, is it because of jobless growth?
let me tell you, if you're making in the top 10 list in Pawan Sir's coaching institute, you almost have a 50% probability of making it into the final list with a very good rank. So don't worry too much about if you're making it in the top 10 students here in public administration test series, then rest assured you are, you don't have to worry about anything. If the paper is difficult, still you will perform better than other people. So that used to be my short-term goal, we can say. Next test, top 10, top 5, that used to be my short. Of course, the long-term goal was clearing UPSC. So test series is going to help very much. And I was mentioning the other day also how answer writing here at Pawan Kumar Sir's test series has helped a lot, especially the presentation part. Content you can, although gathering content is also very difficult because it's all scattered and then you have to siphon through so much material. Here, sir will give you in a very concise manner. You write a 10 mark question, but sir will give you enough content for a essay. That's what even sir says. So content you will get. The more important part is presentation, which you will learn here. How to present your answers and presentation matters sometimes more than content in UPSC.
Okay, then we have done this economic survey classes and everything also.
Yes, sir.
You must have seen them.
Yes, sir.
How did you benefit out of those classes?
So economic survey in itself, the document is written in a very academic fashion. It's like a research paper. So if you directly dive into it and start reading it, from front to back, paragraph by paragraph, you will end up, as a matter of fact, you will end up losing your time and energy.
Yeah.
So which is why you need someone who can siphon through all that material, convert that into some concrete, readable, digestible points and present to you in a lucid manner. Which is why I would suggest that you should come here and attend the economic survey classes. Because otherwise, going through economic survey, if you read it, it lists out 10 references or 15 research papers for every article they write or every chapter they write. It's not humanly possible at this stage, even if you're an economics expert, you go for that sort of a study, you will end up wasting your time. Which is why getting those inputs on economic survey, it's my personal opinion that survey matters comparatively less in prelims, but when it comes to mains, survey is vital. Especially 2 years worth of survey. I would suggest that you watch sir's lectures of at least 2 years of survey. So that's very important in public administration and also in general studies. Sometimes you'll find questions being directly lifted from survey. I remember there was a question on labor intensive sectors, and that year we had a chapter on manufacturing of shoes or something. The chapter was named like that. That was 2018. That time, the year I got into IPS. So survey is very, very important when it comes to me. And also disinvestment, public sector units, monetary policy, fiscal policy. These are parts of public administration. And
Public
equally well, GS
debt
also.
policy.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, and then
One important thing I would, if you permit me, sir.
please, please.
Public administration has gotten weirder, not weird I would say, dynamic in the sense that they incorporate environment and ecology,
Yes.
they incorporate technology, they incorporate TRI and everything. That, in that sense also economic survey helps, because economic survey is also a very broad based document. It will have a section dedicated to impact of environmental destruction or climate change on agriculture.
Sustainable development, yes.
So you can lift material from there. It will have content on regulatory overlaps or regulatory problems which India is facing due to so many regulators, or is India over-regulated or less regulated? All these sorts of philosophical questions which sort of numbs your mind when all of a sudden you see in the question paper. Economic survey is very, very important for that.
And sometimes, you get less marks in the test also. Sometimes.
That's,
yeah. That's what I was also asking Anisha also. How did you motivate yourself? Because when you get less marks, because when it comes to evaluation,
Yes,
we
sir.
are not very kind here.
Yes, sir, that is true.
In fact, we can say that, you can always appeal to Human Rights Commission also for the kind of exploitation.
Yes, sir.
Right? We are not very kind here. How did you motivate yourself?
So I didn't think about legal recourses like Human Rights Commission or filing an FIR.
Okay.
but
Now that you're a police officer, I cannot take any chances with you also.
Sometimes you will get poor marks. I remember once I was in the top 5. Once I topped in the examination in a test series here, and on the next test I scored something like 93, and I was like way out of the list. So, you win some, you lose some. Take it as take that answers test, take the topper's answer sheet, go home, compare. Compare doesn't mean that you don't compare it superficially. It's just not a cursory look. You sit down and you analyze question by question, point by point. You see whether you were lacking in your content or your presentation, or sometimes question papers are being answer sheets are being corrected by human beings. So that wouldn't create a difference of 25 marks, but there can be a difference of 5 or 10 marks, give and take.
Yes.
So that you can ignore that factor. But if you're falling behind by 25 marks or 30 marks, then there is something seriously wrong with you, and you should introspect.
Okay, that is one way of motivating you.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. And then, one more question is, I was asking Amnisha also, how did you motivate yourself in the entire journey, the whole process of, preparing?
Sir, so it's easier said. Things like have a positive mindset, have you read something nice or talk. I used to focus on 2 or 3 concrete things. I used to exercise every day. That was like my me time. That was like my holy time. So every morning I would go for a run 2-3 kilometers. Nothing compared to what they will make you do in NPA, but
Obviously, that would have helped you also a lot
yes.
in NPA.
So exercise is very, whatever you want to do, yoga or Zumba or whatever suits you. Keep talking to your loved ones. Mentors are very important. Sir's class is full of humor. So sitting 2 years or 3 years in the classroom, you wouldn't feel burdened, as if like you wouldn't come out tired and with black,
Yeah.
you wouldn't feel very tired. And have a hobby. And one thing which I was mentioning that day is that you should visualize your goal. That's what I use. So for 10 minutes when you are running or you are doing stretching or whatever you are doing, you can simply visualize that when I am into the service, this is what I will look like. This is how people will perceive me. This is how my parents will feel. This is how my teachers will feel. So you can spend 10 minutes on daydreaming about your success. That's also helped me motivate. So basically talk to your loved ones, exercise, talk to your mentors, and that is it, sir.
And of course, you have to visualize.
Visualize,
It
yes,
is very
sir.
important. Imagine your name in the top rankers list, and
Yes, sir.
you are being interviewed like this.
Yeah, that also helps. That also helps. You imagine yourself, you see some topper giving some
Yes.
suggestions or tips, and you think, I can do better than him.
Exactly, yes.
I just need to sit there. I'll speak better than him. He's not speaking the right things.
Yes.
I know better than him. So, you just need an opportunity to come this side and then speak better than that
In
previous
fact,
person.
one of our top rankers last year, he was also attending seminar like that. In those days, we had seminars.
Yes, sir.
That is BC,
Yes,
before
sir.
COVID.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Right now, we only have webinars.
Yes, sir.
Right.
After COVID.
After COVID. So, he was also telling me the same thing, that he was sitting on the other side,
Yes,
on the other
sir.
side of the classroom.
Yes, sir.
He was listening to the seminar, and he had this dream of coming to this side
Yes, sir.
and speaking to the students in front of him. That really motivated him.
That is a very big motivator, I must say.
Yes, because it's always good to preach people rather than
You make a lot more money preaching than following. You can
Obviously.
see it in
I
India.
hope you are not pointing at me.
No, I'm pointing to the religious
Yeah,
religious
okay,
group.
fine. Right.
Preachers make a lot of money. Religious preachers, especially.
Nowadays, religion is the biggest business in the world.
Yes, sir.
Of course, after drugs. Right. So then, what is your suggestion to a fresher, who does not know anything about the examination? What is your suggestion? Should he prepare for this examination or not?
Well, you should prepare for this examination. This examination is meant for everyone who has the tenacity and the stamina to, keep working hard. There is nothing rocket science about this examination. See, this examination is more like a marathon. It's not a sprint. So it will take time. I started my preparation in 2016 and I got selected in 2018. So that was 2.5 years. And if you are a beginner, first, if you want to, if you see yourself as an officer, whichever service you prefer, then definitely go for this examination. Second, how do you begin preparation? You can start on your own. You can get in touch with your mentors. You can get in touch with Pavan sir. When I started with polity and modern Indian history, 2 subjects. I think you should go for polity first because it sort of lays the foundation for everything else.
Anyone can read it.
Anyone can read it. So you can start on your own with polity. You can get in touch with sir. Then you shouldn't worry too much about ethics and essay writing and everything, because I see a lot of people who are just beginning, they start worrying about how will I write my essay or how will I prepare for. Don't worry about interview or essay or ethics. These things will come. Focus on the nearest goal, prelims. That's your most immediate goal. Mains will happen. Don't worry too much about it.
And then I was also asking Anisha the same question. Now we have students who have written attended 3-4 interviews.
Yes, sir.
What kind of suggestion that you can give to them?
Sir, I know they are going through a very tough time. Even I failed twice, and it was very difficult pulling yourself. See, you look at your marks. That's the first thing you do. When you fail in your interview, you look at your marks, and then you see where you lacked, and then you cannot be. Like I said, this examination, if you write a very good answer, you will get 9 out of 15. If you write an average answer, you will get 7.5 or 8 out of 15. You cannot create a margin of 5 marks or 6 marks in one answer. And at the end of the day, you're writing 117 answers. So maybe you were confident that you will succeed in this examination because you had written few good answers, and which is why you feel bad. But that is not going to cut it. You will have to write. You will have to be good consistently. You cannot be hoping that I will write 5 very good answers and then that will create a margin of 25 marks. That is not going to happen. With every question you have to create a margin of half marks, 1 marks, 1.5 marks, and you write 117 questions. So 20, 20, 20 GS paper 1, 2 and 3, 20 in GS paper 4 and 19 in GS 4 and 19 and 19 in your optional subjects. So over a period of 117 marks that accumulates. So you look where you lacked, and in that subject you work for that 1 or half or 1.5 extra marks in every question. That's it's easier said than done. It's very difficult to, after a point you reach a saturation level, and after that improvement becomes all the more difficult. You can run 100 meters in 12 seconds, but to make it from 12 to 11 seconds, it's
the most difficult.
It's the most difficult part. So once you reach the saturation level, improving from there, you have already reached it because you have given 4 interviews. So that
basically, I'm just sorry interrupting you.
Yes, sir.
Basically, if you have given 4 interviews and still you have not cleared the mains, we must accept the fact that there is some kind of fault that lies within us.
Yes, sir, which is
rather
very
than
important.
blaming PS or anyone else.
Yes.
So first we must accept the fault.
Yes, sir.
And then try to rectify it.
Which is what happens in many senior players, is that there is an inertia which sets in.
Exactly.
That I know all things. I am set in my own ways. I am unwilling to change. I am unwilling to listen to new people or incorporate new advices. That shouldn't happen. If you become, status quoist, then in any case civil services is not meant for you. So you will have to change.
After getting into services, you will become status quo.
That's a different story altogether. But here you can't be. If you are failing, then you will have to look for changes. Whether you like it, it's gonna put you through mental pressure and mental. You will be pressurized by changing a lot in your style of study. But please do it. Please listen to your mentors, please listen to sir, and whatever changes are suggested, please do it. Otherwise, you will keep repeating the same thing over and over again.
One more question that every student who prepares for this examination would like to ask.
Yes, sir.
The question is, how many hours you have studied on an average per day?
I resigned from my job in 2015, towards the end of 2015. So 2016, initially I had a very lackadaisical approach. I used to think I'm very intelligent and I am supposed to conquer every exam.
I used to believe.
I used to believe that, but UPSC. No, sir, not anymore.
I'm talking about myself.
Okay, so you have valid reasons too. But now UPSC is such an exam. It will keep you grounded, legs on the ground. You cannot be flying high, no matter. Your previous is, you might be a graduate from Harvard or IIM Calcutta, or you might be topper in any examination. UPSC doesn't care about that, right? So it is a very big leveler.
UPSC believes in egalitarian societies.
Yes, at least when it comes to examination.
Yes.
So that was my approach also initially, very lackadaisical. I used to think that I can study 2 hours a day and clear this exam with flying colors. That didn't happen, and to my surprise, I had to change my attitude. Despite all the inertia, I had to change everything. It was very difficult changing everything which I was doing all along. So then during my third attempt in which I got selected, I was studying 8 to 10 hours a day, 10 hours almost. And there's one thing about studying 10 hours a day. If you study 10 hours a day, then effectively you will be studying 7 hours a day, because after half an hour, 45 minutes, you are distracted, you are stretching your arms, you're thinking about something, college or something, so many things to think about.
I study for 5 minutes and take a break for 5 hours.
Yes, sir. So to study 10 hours a day, effectively you need to sit for 13 hours.
Yes.
So I used to have a stopwatch, and even if I went for a loo break or a water break, I used to stop it and then come back and then switch it on again.
Very harsh on yourself.
Yes,
Very
yes, sir.
harsh.
I have been brought up like this. I have always been disciplined by punishment. Ever since my kid, I have been, even in NPA when you go, you will be, the only way to discipline you there is punishment.
I have seen our students in NPA.
Yes, sir.
During 40 to 43 degrees temperature, they are supposed to run for 5-10 kilometers.
So 10 kilometers. The last run I had was 13 kilometers.
Okay,
and
okay.
if you are,
I'm trying to be a little bit more humanitarian.
yes, you will have your 25 kilometer route march, your 40 kilometer route. You will be carrying a weight of 20 kilos on your back and your rifle, of course.
So basically, you are walking from Rajanagar in Hyderabad. Where NPA is located to Rajanagar
Yes,
in
sir.
Delhi.
So there also, if you are late even by 1 minute, the ustad will make you do 20 push-ups on the spot. He doesn't care if you are wearing a suit or uniform, 20 push-ups on the spot. So that way,
I
it
think
might.
you are discouraging students from taking up IPS.
It's a great service. It's a very great service. But that way, I'm a very firm believer in discipline by punish. I might be. It's not very acceptable these days. But
Okay, let me put the same question to Anisha also. How many hours did you study?
Sir, same, 8 to 10 hours. But sir, consistency I think I would say is more important.
I think
And,
in his case it is punishment, in your case it is reward. You know, you were motivated by your morning coffee.
Yes, sir, same, sir. So,
So
but
coffee
I,
with Anisha is a problem.
yes, sir. So newspaper and coffee, sir. It was almost like a reward, like you said. It was almost like a reward, like you said. And sir, I've done this consistently now for 3 years, and it has become same, sir. Discipline. I would say that is the thing. That is the key.
So did you ever feel that you should punish yourself also?
Sir, for me it was not a punishment. I honestly, thoroughly enjoyed myself. Of course, there were some days which were difficult, especially the time between prelims and mains.
Obviously.
That is when I felt it became slightly tougher because studying, writing, managing everything was very tough at that time. But rest of the time, studying was not as tough. So 8 to 10 hours was manageable for me. 16 hours, like he said, that was the case, and effectively it came to 7 hours of studies only. But that is what I did.
And both of you have attended, I think, 3 test series with us.
Yes, sir.
And you know, coming back year after year, you know, was it not some kind of a boring thing?
Sir, personally, I had a lot of faith in the test series because, sir, my marks were consistently improving. So when I saw that graph, I felt like this was the only way that I could, reach that.
So that's why acted as some kind of incentive for you to come back.
Yes, sir, it was an incentive. And at that point, that was the only thing I could see in the future that could get me to the final list. So, sir, that is I kept coming back. So, that was my personal motivation.
And what about you? You are also here for a
yes, sir, I wrote 3 test series. For the first 2 test series, my brother was also along with me.
Yes,
So
Divyanshu was
yes, sir.
yes.
So it was fun. We used to sit in the back. We used to
Yeah, always
eat
I've seen, always, you don't want to be
in the front, sir. Unless forced to, I prefer sitting in in the back. So we used to write down the answers, whatever sir was dictating, and sometimes discuss
I
amongst.
think, in the discussions also I used to dictate very fast.
Yes, sir.
So how did you cope with that, kind of speed?
So what our formula was that I used to write down as much as I could. Used to do the same thing, but our handwritings were horrible. So even for us writing at that speed, going back and revising, it seemed like we are reading some Mandarin or something like that. So there were some good chaps with good handwriting. Those God-sent creatures are there in every academy, every institute,
Obviously, yes.
who are very good at writing down whatever is being said. So you listen carefully because multitasking becomes difficult. You're also concentrating on listening. You're also thinking about what is being said, and then your hand is also moving simultaneously. And you're also thinking. I used to think all the while, okay, sir said so and so things, but I haven't mentioned those points. But I have mentioned some other points. So are those points relevant? Will I be awarded marks for that? So all the while I was thinking and absorbing so many things that, yeah, I found it difficult. But it's very important to refer to notes. I bought all of them, the toppers copy. I got photocopied those who were very good in writing. And the 5 days you get, after your GS paper, language paper and optional paper, you get almost 5 days. Those 5 days I didn't touch any book. I had written 3 test series, so I had quite a good question bank with me, almost 300 question, more than 300, 400 question papers. The last 5 days, I only revised questions. I had bookmarked some very important questions, current affairs based or anything else, and I only revised questions during those last 5 days, nothing else. And that's the importance of test series. Those last 5 days completely dedicated. That will sort of, condense your entire preparation into a very short and easy format to revise and recollect.
Yeah, that's true. The next question is, for your general studies, what are the changes you have made in your preparation in these 3 attempts?
Sir, in GS, my score was very average in the first 2 mains. So I had to do a lot of improvement in GS. So what I said, like, I focused a lot on presentation. Every topic which was supposed to be important, I used to pick up that topic. I used to frame a question in my mind, and if asked, this is how a question can be framed from such a topic, and if asked this question, this is how I will present it. I remember I told two things about diagrams that day, and maybe sir will agree, and even you can find that in sir's diagram. You have to prepare your diagrams or your flow charts or your presentation methods beforehand. You cannot be
Even, I used to draw so many diagrams on the board.
Yes, sir. Yes,
which
sir.
only I could understand, or nobody can understand.
No, sir, we used to copy it down.
Really?
Yes,
That's
sir.
good.
So you have to do it beforehand. You cannot be improvising. There's not going to be a divine revelation in your mind that, okay, this diagram, I should put it here. You have to practice it beforehand. And two important things which I say about diagrams is that, A, they should condense what, if you're writing it in paragraph form, it takes, let's say, 2 paragraphs. And if you're making a diagram, it takes the entire page.
Yes.
Then better write it in paragraph form. It should condense the space which you are providing. And number 2, most important, which has to be in the diagram, that it has to be self-explanatory. You cannot be making a diagram and then explaining
also.
half a page to. So every time you see a topic, think on these two lines, and then come up with a diagram, self-explanatory, and it should condense your answer. And that will help you a lot in presentation. I worked very hardly on this, and then you work on the legal aspects, the committee reports, the commission reports, then you work on statistics, facts and figures, some data points, then you work on some case studies. Examples are very, very important. Sir will say it repeatedly 100 times. You won't pay attention and you will suffer. But it's very important to quote example for every argument you give. At least 80% of your arguments should have a supporting example. Yes,
That's also very important for your ethics paper also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And one more thing is that in what way your knowledge of public administration help you in your general studies?
So GS paper 2 is sometimes more like public administration than public administration is like public administration.
Yes.
So GS paper 2, it will help you a lot in GS.
Especially this year, I think paper 2, the questions are more technical, like what we have seen in public administration.
So harmonious construction, there was a question.
Yes.
2 good, incorrect. 15 markers, right. So I was thinking that I got lucky. I got lucky. I got lucky. I used to see.
Even in the ethics case studies, also 2-3 case studies for about politicians, civil servant relationships.
So GS paper 2, total advantage on your side. Paper 3, like I said, monetary policy, fiscal policy, public sector units, disinvestments, financial administration, everything.
Growth, all those things.
All the inclusive growth, all those things. Even in social issues, you'll be studying things like self-help groups or rural development or women organizations or NGOs and everything.
Yes.
All this is covered in social issues. And then ethics, there are portions like RTI, probity and governance, integrity,
Civil services values.
social audit, right? Social audit,
Civil services values.
yes, civil services values, all these things, and reforms in civil services, all this. I think public, when you compare optionals, public administration has the maximum overlap with general studies. No other optional is going to give you so much overlap with general studies as public administration gives you.
So basically, if you are good with your GS, you will be doing well in PubAd.
Yes, sir.
And if you are good with your PubAd, you will be doing very well in GS.
True, sir.
That is the reason why both of you are here.
Yes, sir.
Because you must have done both well in both PubAd and GS also.
Yes, sir.
And my last question: what is your message to future aspirants?
Sir,
This will be for you also. You can also think about it.
see, I'll tell you something. You will hear many success stories, like, plenty are there. But I'll tell you that every person is unique. You can take knowledge from other people. You can take inspiration from other people. You can learn. You can learn a lot of things from other people. But at the end of the day, you will have to charter your own unique course. What works for you? How does your mind work? Everybody's mind has different methods of thinking, of organizing thoughts, of organizing facts, figures. So if you think that you can become a successful candidate or a topper exactly doing the exact same thing which the other person did, it might not work for you. You will have to figure out your own way. So learn from other people, get influenced or get inspired by them, but figure out your own unique path for civil services examination.
That's a very good message. And what about you, Aniket?
So actually, I've answered this question already. You had asked me, but I'll just say this. First of all, don't fall into the trap of that I'm not good enough. A lot of people on Quora are actually asking me this. That weren't you scared that you were competing with IITians or people from IIM? So that is not something that I even thought of.
They
I
should be
thought.
scared of you. Okay, yes.
I thought my only competition is my procrastination, my laziness, and all these things. So we only have to fight with our own demons. And that is the only competition. And second thing I'll say is before jumping into the examination, try and understand the examination first. So like I said, do reverse engineering, go through the papers, listen to toppers, figure out what worked for them, and then start the preparation. So don't jump headfirst into it. So because then you will be lost. Because this is like an ocean. So that is what would be my suggestion. And of course, all the best to everyone. And God willing, I hope everyone who works hard makes it. So that would be it.
So that's so nice of both of you to come here and share your experiences. Deepankar, he was there day before yesterday also. We had done a webinar with him. He was in Kozhikode at Hyderabad? Trishur. Yeah, Kozhikode. And then today, so luckily he came here. So Deepankar, as all of you know, he got 42nd rank this year. Last year he got into IPS Kerala cadre. So thank you very much for sharing all your experiences. So at the end of the day, let me sum up what both of you have said about the preparation. First thing is you must have confidence in yourself that you will definitely clear this examination. If you convince yourself, only then the rest of the world can believe in your abilities. Second thing is you must motivate yourself all the time because this examination is a long drawn process. So you must always motivate yourself. I like Deepankar pointed out, you can motivate yourself through discipline, you can motivate yourself through yoga, you can motivate yourself by developing good hobbies. Yes. Third thing is, again, both of you have pointed out, you need to have a consistent hard work. You must study for 8 to 10 hours a day because none of us are like Vivekananda. So you must study for 8 to 10 hours a day. And fourth thing is that you must have a very good writing practice. Practice makes human beings perfect. In the class I used to say something different, but here, so it makes everyone perfect. And the next thing is that you must always visualize what is going to be your future. That is the most important source of motivation for you. And of course, for those who are not able to clear this examination, they must have an unbiased, impartial review of your performance. Instead of blaming the entire world, you must be willing to identify your mistakes, like both of you have done, and then correct those mistakes. Am I right? I think.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So once again, thank you very much for coming and making this successful. Let us hope that those who are listening will benefit out of this conversation.
Thank you for having us, sir.
It's my pleasure. And I should thank both of you for coming here and sharing your experiences.
Thank you, sir.
Because the best part of what our students is that as we study in ethics paper also, if you want to know the true personality of a person, give him power.
True.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So the good thing about all our students, I've been here for the last 13, 14 years. The good thing about all our students is that in spite of getting into services, they have not changed much. That's what I always tell them. They are still honest. They are still hardworking. They are still very sincere, and they are still very modest.
Thank you, sir, for such kind words.
So that's high praise, sir.
No, because if you look at Deepankar, I used to think that, what will he do in police? Because, he's such a nice gentleman. And the police is known for, of course, nowadays, we are talking about, human rights and the police and everything. But, now he can do wonders in IAS. Of course, you'll be, I wish you to, I wish to see you there, speaking in United Nations in the next 6-7 years. She'll be getting IFS.
Yes, sir.
Foreign service. This is our second preference.
Yes, sir, told me.
Yes. So I wish to see her there speaking in United Nations in the next 5-6 years.
God
That is the next target for her from our side. Right? Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you,
go.
sir.